So, what is your name?
My name is Alan Kloss.
That's not what you told me a second ago.
My name is Alakazam Ollivander.
See, he was lying to me. Yeah. Is this your first time to the Renaissance Fair?
No, I've been doing Renaissance Festival since I was about 10 years old.
Wow. That's, I'm not going to assume your age or anything. How is your experience? I'm assuming you started out as an attendee, and then now obviously you're a vendor. So how has your experience been over the years, and how has it changed when you made the transition into working a booth?
Well, to be honest, I only went a couple times as a young kid, and then a friend of my mom's got me involved, again, at a young age of 10. So I have very little real experience being a vendor or a patron or a customer at the Renaissance. Pretty much always been involved, and I started with music and entertainment and performance before I jumped into selling anything. So
that's pretty interesting. We heard something earlier from another vendor that we visited where she made the transition. Not she attended, but she started with music and entertainment, and then started doing vending. So that's interesting parallel. Is there anything like any specific training that you had to go through to work a booth and do what you did before?
I think a variety of skills that you learn just in general all come to play here, but certainly having a theatrical background helps at the Renaissance Festival. I was a theater kid, I was in a lot of performances, and just being comfortable on stage or in a costume or in a character or with an accent goes a long way out here, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we'll take a pause real quick. I believe we were asking, here's a good one. Do you have any funny Ren Fair stories that you can tell us? Because I've heard some that we're never going to air. But do you have any that are funny?
I wouldn't even know where to begin there. I think every year, every show, everywhere I go, something funny happens. I am very good about writing down most of my adventures in a personal journal. If I went back in there, I'd be able to count tons of them. But I will have to say that my variety of jobs constitutes a lot of very, very funny happenings. I sell pickles at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival.
Oh, okay.
And in the pickle salesmanship, there's a lot of crazy interactions that involve. I pull the cabriolets in Arizona, so I give people rides like a human horse in a cart. I sell little wooden swords and shields at Colorado to children, and of course, all of it. Yeah, there's so much craziness there. There's a lot of wonderful families and people, and you never know what's going to happen every day. It's one of my favorite parts, is waking up and not knowing what's going to be said or done throughout the day.
I remember the very first time I visited Renaissance Fair, it was this one. When I was in high school, I actually got in a shouting contest with a pickle salesman.
Excellent. And in pickles, we also have a little hammer, and for kids to smash the pickle with a hammer, it becomes a bit of a spectacle. We do that a lot. We play a little pickle baseball, and we have a sign. We end up smashing pickle guts all over unsuspecting people. So
that's fantastic.
We have
that's
a lot
great.
of fun with pickles. Yeah.
It's a staple of the food. So could you describe what you do here and at the other festivals?
At this Renaissance Festival, I'm the manager of Whirlwood Magic Wands. And we sell handcrafted, beautiful magic wands, all made of real mahogany and maple, starting at only 10, and we're especially proud of our secret chamber wand collections. You have to check us out online at whirlwood.com. I also manage at the Texas Renaissance Festival, and this particular business is in Arizona, Colorado, Minnesota, and 3 locations in California. But as I was mentioning earlier, I have a variety of jobs at each location. I stay on the road at least 10 months of the year, 2 months at a place, and different jobs in each one for the most part.
That's a lot. So how would you describe a typical day of work here at Whirlwood Wands? I keep wanting to say Whirlwood.
Like many other places, I wake up and have a ritual and routine of cleanup and preparation. We make sure everything looks beautiful. We make sure we're fully dressed and rested and in costume and ready to meet the day. Everything for me revolves around the weekends. So Fridays are even preparation for a busy, busy weekend and not going out. And Mondays are recuperation from and cleanup afterwards. But the weekend encompasses all, and we want to make sure that we are fully prepared on a Saturday morning for thousands of people.
Yeah, thousands. I keep seeing Facebook posts last year and this year of them breaking records almost every single weekend. So, yeah, thousands of people. Is there any new items this year that have come out? I know particularly in Harry Potter, you've got at least the new movie, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them have come out this year. Do you have anything new in that regard, or any new wands from last year that you're introducing this year?
We have a couple new wands in the movie replica collection, and we have a fuller, more complete collection of our secret chamber wands, and we're always making new things, and I do believe that we are going to be trying to keep up with the new movies and try to have something for that as well. It'll definitely be at the next show, Arizona.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if you're in Arizona, come out, get a wand.
And I'm also looking to try to have nice wand stands available for people that have nice wands at home and need to display them. We're going to try to have those on sale, and we're going to have a collection of glass wands coming out soon.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, glass wands. I've not seen that before. I mean, maybe you have, but I haven't, so that's pretty cool.
It's a new thing, and I'll be making them myself, as I'm also a glass apprentice.
Oh.
Not to mention, I also work with Raven's Glass, and I make his little figurines and miniatures. It's an art form I've been doing for a couple years. It's a lot of fun, and I've been getting a little bit better over the time, so now I can make glass wands.
So you're not being burned as much, is basically what
Not as much, yeah. Yeah.
So could you explain a little bit how these items are made?
These are all handcrafted, either turned on a lathe, and then the ones out of a hard maple are carved. My boss, Gary Hall, does all the craftsmanship out in California, and it started as a business from reading the books with his son, and they went out to the workshop and made wands together like a father and son project. So from that, a business was born. But he does all the craftsmanship, and I'm actually not as informed as to how and how long it takes. He keeps it a little bit secret himself and whatnot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's still really cool. I love to see a development that comes out of just a simple activity like that, and then next thing you know, right, he's making these beautiful wands.
Absolutely, and I hope he actually posts a couple videos of him making them, because I think people would be interested in seeing the process as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of advice would you give someone who's interested in doing a Renaissance Festival, working as a vendor, working as a street hawker or performer?
I would say just get out there and talk, communicate, set up a network, interact with people, and inquire about different jobs and openings and positions. If you're a go-getter, if you're ambitious, if you have a nice little resume that, as I said, might have a little bit of a theatrical background, or you're not shy or willing to talk to hundreds, if not thousands of people in a day, you might be right for this kind of job, and it's as simple as asking around for it. I was lucky enough to fall into it, but I've heard of people just walking up to and talking to people and having a job for the next season.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, a little bit of background on you. Where are you from? Because I know you're all over.
Yep.
You go all over, but where are you from?
Minnesota, just south of the Twin Cities, and the Minnesota Renaissance Festival is my home show that, as I said, I started when I was a mere 10 years old.
That's really, really cool. And then now you're all over the nation. So, is there a website that people can order the wands if they're not able to make it to the fair?
Yep, at whirlwood.com.
Awesome. That's fantastic. And are there any special events or what's next on your schedule in the future?
For the Magic Wands, we are starting the Dickens Festival out in San Francisco today, and that goes through the Christmas season. There's a couple other smaller festivals that might be popping up next year. We're hoping to get into Georgia and the Florida show. But otherwise, then our season begins with the Arizona Renaissance Festival in February, continues with Scarborough and the Southern California festivals in April and May, and pretty much straight through.
Oh man, yeah, that is busy. So, some more background on you. Why did you choose this? You started out pretty young, so maybe you didn't choose it per se, but I mean, you're keeping up with it, and you definitely have a passion for working.
I would definitely say it chose me, and I think a lot of people out here would agree that what started as either something fun or maybe a little bit of a gig or something you made a couple tips at suddenly became a lifestyle. For me, indeed, I love being at the Renaissance every summer. That was my favorite part of growing up as a kid, so I just decided to do it as a gig. I got on the road. It chose me. Like the wand chooses you.
I was about to say that. Thanks for cutting.
Yeah, very good.
This is exactly like wands.
It's not for everyone, though. Some people get on the road, try it out for a year or two, maybe do a few things, have some fun, but it comes with its ups and downs, and you got to be tough for the downs and ready for the ups. The road will teach you. Traveling is definitely It's not for everyone, but some people thrive. I would like to think I'm one of those people that thrives staying on the run and on the go.
Another connection to theater is the traveling theater troupes that just do shows that just go all over the nation, all over the world. Probably very, very similar to that, I would assume.
They're very dedicated, and they rehearse all the time and polish their shows so that when you come out and see it, it's a fully performable act that you can really be astonished by. Yep, there's some really, really good acts out here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna catch a couple shows in my off time here, but yeah, fantastic shows. Now, what do you hope to achieve? I mean, I know you mentioned that you're gonna expand to some new shows, potentially in the next year and probably the year after that. But is there anything else that you hope to achieve by, working at the Renaissance festivals?
Well, especially as we were mentioning earlier, keeping up with the popularity of wands. With new books and movies coming out all the time, we have to keep up with new stuff, and there's a lot of people out there very interested in wands, so we got to keep expanding to new areas and keeping informed on that. And I'm going to be in the wand business for many years to come, so I'm going to try to be as well informed as possible, like any other Ollivander.
It's just like your uncle, right?
That's right, Uncle Al.
So, last question, basically, pretty open-ended here. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Any bits of advice, just a funny story, anything that you can think of that you'd like to share?
Oh, again, that's a tough one. Just too many to even begin, too many even remember. My favorite part about the day is waking up not knowing what I'm going to say, who's going to say what to me, what's going to happen. It's an adventure. Every day out here is an adventure. And it might be right for you too. Come out and see the Renaissance Festival, have some fun, don't hold back.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And